So this is how I draw 3 pretty girls. Well, yeah, that's literally it. Let's go! Just like every drawing, I start off with a sketch. I use this reference for the girl on the right, this one for the middle one, and this one for the left. But actually, the end result turned out quite different from these references, so just keep watching. Next, I refined the sketch and took my time to really visualize how they will look like at the end. This art style is, oddly enough, inspired by AI art. So when you think AI art is stealing from artists, I am stealing from AI art. Jokes aside, I actually think that studying AI art can help us identify what creates a good-looking art. I always see a lot of these anime-style illustrations popping up on my Instagram feed, and they really caught my attention. Because AI is also learning from good artists, they kind of provide a summary of what good art looks like. So this makes me think, what are the qualities that make them so eye-catching? And here's my answer. I think largely it's because the characters look pretty and the colors are very modern and futuristic and interesting. Inspired by that, you also see a focus on a specific color palette later on. So next, I moved on to the line art. I used fine lines to make sure that all the characters are very delicate and very feminine. I also really like this style of drawing hair, which is basically leaving a lot of white spaces for the highlights to create a high contrast. On top of the black and white sections of hair, I also drew very thin lines to indicate stray hairs and to add more dimension. For the girl in the middle, I already know I want her hair to be a different color, so I left even more white spaces to show that she has a lighter hair color. Just on the topic of hair, there can be a lot to cover already. So leave a comment below if you want me to make a tutorial about how I draw hair in the future. Moving on to the last girl, I also want to make sure all of them have kind of different aesthetics. So you might remember the first girl is more cutesy, whereas the middle one has more of a classical beauty, whereas the last girl here is more cool and chic and badass. And for her tattoo, I also referenced a Pinterest picture like so. And here are the 3 girls side by side. I also had this idea of overlapping them, so maybe we can add some interesting colors in those areas. And yes, here comes the coloring process. I reference from this color palette, so to give it that cyber and modern look. I think one of the important tips here is to not use total black and total white. So you can see I recolored the line art with a darker purple, and the white is also slightly bluish. Because the whole artwork is so cool-toned, using the neutral black and white actually makes it too warm for this artwork and it doesn't fit right. And now I'm just adding some shadows around the eyes, under the chin, and I made sure to use different colors for each girl to make them unique. And now I've added some pink on the edge of the left girl and blue on the edge of the middle girl, and you'll see some green on the right as well. I wanted to mimic the effect of neon highlights, even though I know it doesn't make sense because it's technically darker than her skin tone. I guess it's just an artistic choice. And another tip to make the artwork consistent is to repeat colors across different characters. For instance, I used the same red for her lips on the left and as the red hair in the middle. And you can also spot that I repeated the same green, the same pink, the same purple, and so on. And after a long process of coloring, here is the final artwork. This took me 6 hours actually, which is so much longer than what I usually do, mainly because I have to draw 3 characters instead of 1. But I don't find it to be that difficult of a process. I don't usually draw it in one sitting. I draw whenever I have free time. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and I hope this inspires you to create some artwork as well. See ya!